Back on. Oh, there we go. Okay, welcome everybody. We're so glad you joined us. I'm Susie McRae, and I'm a proud global founder with a company called OnPassive. And today you were invited by someone who cares about you. They feel blessed, and they are passing this blessing forward to you so that you can learn about this revolutionary business called OnPassive. And it's like nothing you've ever seen before. So I'm going to introduce our first speaker, and then we'll have a presentation today. And after that, I will be back on to give you instructions. Should you have questions, we're here to answer your questions. I'm going to disable the chat right now so that you can be focused on what you are about to hear. So today, our first speaker is Marty Degarmo. He lives in New Jersey in the United States. Marty was in the corporate world for over 17 years as a project manager. And then he started doing online marketing, and he's been involved with it for well over 15 years. He's seen a lot of what's out there, and he's going to tell you his story about why he's with OnPassive. And just listen carefully because he has a lot of wisdom and he speaks from the heart. So Marty, it's all yours, and I'll be back for Q&A.
Fantastic. Thank you, Susie. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
That's fantastic. It's a good start. Thanks, Susie. Thanks, Lonray and everybody here. You're all welcomed here by someone that wanted to share an idea or a business that I believe and Charles is going to prove is there's nothing like it out there. The main thing is I've been online. Again, my name is Marty Degarmo. I've been online since 2004. I got on for many of the same reasons as most of you. I wanted to make a little extra income. So I got on. I needed to make a little extra income. Not I wanted to, but I needed. And I looked around, I found a business. I can't even tell you which the first one was because I was stuck in that shiny object thing. You know, this isn't working. Let me go here. Let me go here. First thing I want to set at ease for all of you, not most of you, all of you. If you have not succeeded in online business of some kind, I don't care which one, there's a really good chance it's not your fault. And I'm going to go through why. When I got online to jump in whatever business it was, I did everything I was told. Do this course, grab this video, read this book, get your mind right. Your why's not big enough. You're the same crap that we all get. Yes, it's good to have the right mindset, but you already had the mindset when you got on. You're broke and you want to make more money, and you'll do whatever, just about whatever it takes. You're listening to people to get to that level where you can make a residual income. Well, as time went on, I found out there was many things that were against me and everyone else. You get in a business, you do what they tell you to do. There's 3 or 4 so-called gurus at the top. They're telling you what to do. They're the affiliate kings or whatever you want to call them, queens. And as you're going through, one thing that starts beating you down, it probably costs anywhere $250 to $500 to get a kit. Then you got a monthly fee. So right now you're out of pocket. That's okay. You would do the same thing if you were starting a brick and mortar business. You pay up front. But where the problem lies is there's little hidden gems that it's not real clear in the beginning. Well, you got to recruit. Then they tell you how easy that is. Make a list of everybody you know. Tell them this, 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 and this. They'll get in with open arms, and they'll all make a lot of money. Okay, that doesn't work. And then the problem is, even as you're inviting people, you don't have anything to give them as tools to learn how to build the business. So you're going, come on in, I'll help you. They get in, they answer, okay, what are you going to do for me? You say, hold hold on, let me find out what I'm doing for me first. And you're just not getting any of the tools. So you bring in people if you can. Next thing you know, you go, okay, I think we have a plan. Boom, the freaking company disappears. You can't find it anywhere online. So now your friends and your family aren't quite friends anymore, and they don't want to be your family. Now you do this time after time after time, and you believe it 100%. Eventually, your family and friends are running for the hills anytime they see you, because you're trying to, hey, I got something that makes you feel like an idiot. And it's not because you're not trying. You really believe at the time what's going on. Well, let me tell you what everybody got beat down for. If you can't drive traffic, and I'm talking about traffic that is targeted traffic for whatever it is that you're selling. If what you're selling isn't in high demand, you're going to fail. I don't care who you are. And I'm not talking about buying traffic, buying names and emails from some guy. Hey, I got 1,000. They've never been used before. Well, if you've done that, you'll find out how mad you can get complete strangers, okay? When you call them, when they were called 500 times about some business, they were beat down and they're madder than you are, right? Don't call me again. Oh, wow, I thought these were never used. The only thing that wasn't used, I mean, come on. So this went on for about 10 years. A lot longer than I would like it to go. Finally, I just decided I got to learn how to build a list, a fresh list, and keep it fresh. So I started doing that. I was fortunate enough to meet Mike Ellis here in Dan Street, who couldn't make it. And between the three of us, we all had our own lane that we were good at. So now what do? Okay, now we got to find a business that's legit and viable products. You're going to hear that from Mr. Osong today. Well, every business we got in, one of those parts were missing. One was we'd get in, build a large team. Guess who we're running into? Me 10 years earlier. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have the skills. So I tell them, oh, that's fine. We do. We'll duplicate what we're doing. Guess what? They can't. You can't duplicate what you're doing. Maybe with 3 or 4 people, but you and 3 other people is not walk away income, okay? It's just now paying your monthly subscription if you're lucky. So now you're like, oh my God, what now? Because every corner we go around and open up that nasty door, there's another pile of horse manure where you're going, well, I didn't know that, because you don't know what you don't know. Everything's rigged against you. The company that you're in doesn't care, because most of them don't last more than 9 months. They want to rake in a few 100,000 or millions. They shut down, repackage it, and bring back some other smelly thing, and then everybody goes and does this nasty thing over and over and over. Today, instead of boring you with the scary, nasty, sucking money out of you, we're going to share a business. Mr. Osong is the best of the best at doing this, about a business that is set up and designed for people like me when I first started, people like you that don't have the skills, single parent, single mother, single daddy, working 2 or 3 jobs. They don't have time. This business was designed for the everyday person to be successful. It forces you to be successful. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Charles Osong, who has 30 years experience in what we're about to share with you. 30 years. And when you hear his story, you're going to say, holy cow, if he did it, I got to do it, right? Because he knew what to look for, just like we did. And he'll explain to you why business fail and why this one is the best thing you've ever seen. That's a guarantee. If you decide, oh, I don't know, I want to know more, we will send the recording of this webinar right to your email if you want it. Nobody's going to talk you into anything. We don't need to bring anybody in. Get that straight. We love sharing the idea. I love seeing new people, because I know, looking in their eyes, they're going to be successful. Anyway, let me turn it over to my friend, and very experienced Charles Osong. There you go, Charles.
Thank you so very much, Marty. Always a pleasure, honor to work alongside great minds like you and all the other leaders. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Larry, for your introduction and welcoming the guest. Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're calling from, ladies and gentlemen, founders, guests. We love our founders, as I always say, but we love our guests more. We are on a mission, all of us at OnPassive, the founders, we are on a mission to bless as many people as we can before we launch to the public. So if you are a guest here today, count yourself very, very blessed that someone really loves you, someone really cares about you. As Marty just said, the previous speaker, he gave us a sneak peek of his story, what happened to him, how he came to love this company, and you're gonna be hearing my story today. I am tasked with this job of bringing this opportunity to you guys, and the way I do that is I tell you my story, how I got to know about this company, and why I decided to jump all in. Again, my name is Charles Osong. I've been in the United States for over 36 years now, and I've been working for the most part, sometimes 2 jobs, just to make ends meet. I've worked mostly in the IT industry, and as most of you should know, it is very broad, but I've been blessed enough to touch almost every discipline in that industry. And ever since I've been working, I've always looked for ways, extra ways to make money. Because when you have a job, I don't care how much money you make, we say a job is just over broke. By the time you pay your bills, you are left wanting. So I've always been looking, especially for residual income, passive residual income, as we call it. Some time ago, long time ago, I ran into the works of Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on earth, the wealthiest, I should say, on earth. And he said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That statement has been resonating with me every day when I go to sleep, and I'm asking myself, am I making money? And of course, if I'm not, I generally don't sleep very well. So about 4.5 years ago, I decided to tender my resignation for corporate America, not because I had money, but I recall a colleague of mine looking at me saying, Charles, you are very fortunate. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, on the contrary, I have been working for so many years and I can't seem to save up the kind of money that I would like. So there's got to be another way. I recall reading from Robert Einstein, who said, you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is his definition of insanity. So I said to myself, I agree with this guy. I'm not going to get insane. And so I decided to stop working, got myself an office space in Greenbelt in Maryland, in the United States. And just over 2.5 years ago, a trusted friend of mine walked into my office and he said to me, Charles, I have this opportunity I want to share with you. And just so you know, guys, prior to retiring, I had been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of them is simple. You bring them an opportunity. They take a look at it inside out before making an informed decision. So I pretended to be like one of them that day. And I asked him, my friend, I am certainly going to take a look at this opportunity, but first, can you answer these 3 questions for me? Question number 1, this opportunity that you're presenting to me today, if I do not recruit, if I cannot sell to even one person, am I going to be able to make money? And when I say money, I'm not talking about chop change. I'm talking about enough money to give me financial freedom. Now remember, I had time freedom because I was retired, but I was still looking for that very elusive financial freedom. And so I asked my friend that day, if I cannot recruit with this opportunity, am I going to be able to make that kind of money that will give me the financial freedom that I need? He looked up at me and he said to me, Charles, yes, with this opportunity, if you seal your mouth, you're going to make enough money to leave a legacy to your children, your children's children, and beyond. That sounded like music to my ears. And I said to him, let's go to question number 2. With this opportunity, will I have to come out of pocket every month in, month out, to pay some bill? In the industry, they call it auto-ship. Will I have to pay a monthly auto-ship? He said to me, Charles, no. Once this company launches, you will have to come out of pocket once, and that's it. I kind of like that. And I said, okay, let's go to question number 3. The last, but certainly not the least of the questions. And I asked him, does this company have legitimate, viable products? By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary. Something that mankind, you and I, we need on a daily basis. If we don't have it, life is simply miserable. Think about your cell phone. Think about Wi-Fi, internet access in this day and age. You need those things. And if a company doesn't have legitimate, viable products, believe me, it is just a matter of time. That company is a time bomb. So when I asked my friend, does this company have legitimate, viable products? He told me, Charles, you have an IT background. You should be able to understand these products better than me. And I said to him, okay. So I went back, took a look at the products, and I came back to him. And I said, my friend, should this company succeed in what they're trying to do, we are going to have an internet quake. We are going to have a shakeup of the internet. But I also told him, seems like we're going to be waiting for a very long time, maybe 5 years, maybe 6 years. He didn't like that because it's like all of us. We like instant gratification. We like money now. And he said to me, Charles, why would you say that? I said, simple. You told me to take a look at the products. I did. And I understand fully well what they're trying to do. They're using artificial intelligence, AI for short, in every step of the development process. AI, my friends, is a disruptive technology. AI is yet the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. And what do we mean by disruptive technology? One that comes every once in a while, and it'll change the way we do things. We have no choice. In other words, it disrupts our lives. But AI is so disruptive, yet it is very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. And for those of you who are familiar with software development, you would agree with me that is simply time consuming. And that's why I told my friend, we are gonna have to wait a while. But I also told him, just buckle up, enjoy the roller coaster, and I don't care how long it's gonna take. I want to be part of this company right now. I had something called FOMO, fear of missing out. I had missed out on a few opportunities earlier on in my life. And I wasn't gonna miss out on this one. Not for any length of time. And not for any amount of money. So I asked my friend, how much is it gonna cost me to be part of this company right now? I was thinking he's gonna give me some bogus amount of money, like $20,000, $25K. And believe it or not, I was ready. I had my credit cards with me. In the United States, thankfully, we do not need cash. All we need is some plastics. And I had a few of those at the time. But my friend looked up at me and said, Charles, don't worry. It's only gonna cost you $97. $97. And I thought he was kidding. I thought he was joking. And I said, my friend, you cannot drive all the way up here and just come mess with me. And he goes, Charles, I'm dead serious. I said, okay, put it on my card. Here it is. By the time I was done, it costed me $102. So yes, there is a small $5 charge that the banks will charge you when you use credit or debit card. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, I don't have 5 years or more to be monitoring this company. So please do me a favor. Call me, text me, email me. Do whatever it takes to get me informed when they are closer to launch so that I can get more involved. He said, no problem. 8 months later, he gave me a call. Charles, the CEO of this company wants to talk to all of us, founding members, in 1 week's time. Can you make yourself available? And I said, why not? 1 week later, I hopped on the call, and there was Mr. Ash Mofara. Mr. Ash Mofara is the CEO of this company. He's the brain behind the company. Mr. Ash Mofara, for those of us who have been around for some time, we have come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us make money, and I can assure you, it will help us make tons of money, but also and particularly because of his heart. And that is why we are saying we are about to bless you, the guest. As you come to join us, you will find out that this guy, of course, we do have quite a few geniuses out there. You have Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, just to name a few. All of these guys have the brains, but do they have the heart? And that's what you will find out when you come to join our company. But mind you, I was listening to him for the very first time ever. And I jumped on the webinar just like this. And he said, folks, we have been making a lot of progress. In fact, we are closer to launch than ever. Needless to say, that statement threw me off because just about 8 months earlier, I had told my friend, we're gonna be waiting for a very long time. Now, all of a sudden, this dude is telling us we are closer to launch than ever. So in my head, I'm thinking, whom is he kidding? I know exactly what they're doing. This is gonna take some time. But the least it did was it got my attention. So I was listening keenly. And then he said, we have gone to Bangalore in India. Now, if you look at behind me, you will see a building. It says OnPassive. This building today is in high-tech city. It's in Hyderabad. This building was leased by OnPassive 2020, December 2020. So at the time, this building was non-existent. They had gone to Bangalore, which is a very busy city in India for technology. All the big guys are there. They hired 2 floors in a high-rise building. And he went on, he said, we have hired 200 engineers. And these engineers are working day and night to make sure this baby is born. So now in my head, I'm beginning to think, okay, most startup companies are going to have 20 to 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, maybe 9, maybe 10 hours a day. I know, because I've been part of a few of those. Mr. Mofara goes to the source. And when I say source, for those of you who are in IT, you agree with me that Indians are the best in the game. So he goes to the source. He did not get 20 or 25 engineers. He got 200 of them. And they're not working 8, no, not 9, not 10 hours a day. They are working around the clock. They are taking turns to make sure this dream is realized. So now in my head, I'm beginning to think, with this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to cut time frame. With this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to do in 2, 3, 4 years what is scheduled to take 5, 6, or even 7 years. So my belief system, my belief factor goes off the roof. And I'm listening. And he goes on. Some of us, founding members, we have been unethical. And so we're going to come out with something called NDA, Non-Disclosure Agreement. And I'm going to let my friend Red Referent talk to you guys more about that. But he said, we're going to come out with that. And you will have to sign them up in order to participate in this great company. 2 months later, he called up another meeting. The NDAs are out. Go sign them up. And I went back, took a look at this long document. And by the time I was done reading it, and I can assure you, my friends, I am not an attorney, not by any stretch of the imagination. But when I read that document, it occurred to me that this business is serious. It occurred to me that this is the time for me to roll up my sleeves. I look back at the time, money, energy spent from the time I joined that company up until then. And I said to myself, I'm going to have to become a man on a mission. I'm going to have to spread the word, because this company is about to change the globe. This company is about to do something humongous, historical, and I want to be part of the history. So I called up a few friends in my office and I said, hey, guys, let's spread the word as much as we can. And the best way, Zoom, of course, thanks to technology with Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It can be a smartphone, a laptop, an iPad, doesn't matter. You need internet access, data, as you guys call it back in Africa, and you are on. Again, what is this company I'm talking to you about? OnPassive, right behind me. And that name was not given by chance. This is a passive opportunity. What does that mean? That means when we launch, you come out of pocket with a small amount of money, very tiny, and the engineers, the employees, the managers, they go to work on your behalf. You fold your arms, and money in your bank account, day in, day out. You cannot beat that. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Mofara, that I just mentioned to you guys a few moments ago, graduated with a master's in e-commerce, went back to Harvard, did some more studies on AI, artificial intelligence, that disruptive technology I just mentioned. This guy has a knack for artificial intelligence. This guy is a guru when it comes to traffic generation. Marty mentioned traffic earlier. But what is this traffic, my friends? Traffic is the reason all of us can dream today. Traffic is the reason we stand out from any other company that is out there today. And so we're going to spend a couple minutes talking about traffic. What is traffic? Traffic is the most fundamental element in any business. It doesn't matter whether this business is online or offline. But I know that most of us have an age. We are more used to offline businesses. So let's start there. What is traffic offline? Say you have a business offline, and it can be any business. It can be a car dealership. It can be a tire store. It doesn't matter. But let's say it is a restaurant. You have a restaurant and I have a restaurant. Same kind of restaurant, same kind of food, everything looks the same chef, with only one difference: location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, in a shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. My restaurant is located in a back alley. It is hidden. Well, guess what? Your restaurant is going to fare better than mine. And here is why. People are going to come to that shopping mall, minding their own business, to do their hair, their nail, buy some clothes, window shopping. Doesn't matter what it is that brings them to the mall. Eventually, they'll get hungry. Once they look up at your restaurant, spot your restaurant, wander into your restaurant, the next thing you know, sales. My restaurant, on the other hand, is going to suffer because people are going to have to know that it is there. People are going to have to leave their homes deliberately to go there. So because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? Traffic. So what then is traffic? The people, the customers coming in and out of your business. Now, what about traffic online? But before I go there, I just want to say this. In this digital day and age, if you have a business offline, like the restaurant, you better get yourself an online presence. Otherwise, what happens? You are gonna be smoked by your competition. The reverse is not true. You can have a very successful business online, like Amazon, the richest company on earth. You do not need an offline presence. So what am I saying in essence? Yes, it is true that we do have millions upon millions of businesses offline. But it is also true that we have more businesses online, billions of them, than we do offline. And all of these businesses online, they thrive on traffic too. No traffic, they are cooked. So what is traffic online? Simple. Clicks. That's it, clicks. You have a business online, the first thing that needs to happen for you to make a sale, someone needs to go there, click on it. No clicks, no sales. The more the clicks, the more the sales. So we have individuals online, businesses online. How do they make money? Simply by driving traffic, by sending customers to all those businesses online. Typical example, Google, that's all it does. And they're making a killing. And then we have something better. We call it targeted traffic. What is that? Say you go online and you're looking for a TV, and somebody walks behind you and whispers on your ear, go to charlesoson.com. At the moment you go to charlesoson.com, all you see are TVs, all kinds of TVs, all colors, all prices. Well, chances of you buying, very high. Guess what? That store just got itself a targeted traffic, meaning a customer looking for what they offer. Huge. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Mofara, is the best in the game of driving targeted traffic. And that's why I said earlier, all of us can dream today because of traffic. He proved himself. When he graduated, he got involved with a few businesses, drove traffic to them, millions of customers, made a lot of money doing that. And those companies also made tons of money. But they wound up closing down, shutting down their doors. Why? I told you guys earlier, no legitimate, viable product. Any company is a time bomb. So Mr. Mofara and his family are going to come together, notably his wife, and they're going to say, we need to stop sending customers to these businesses. We need to stop driving traffic to these businesses that are eventually going to go out. We are going to start our own. We're going to get legitimate, viable digital services. We're going to get founding members, you and I. We're going to drive traffic to them. They make money. We make money. Everybody is happy. Money for the long haul. My friends, that is the birth of OnPassive. So over 3 years ago, and this is important because at the time there was no pandemic. Just over 3 years ago, Mr. Mofara and his friends, they're going to sit together and say, listen, we are starting our own business. We've got close to 8 billion people on earth. And at any point in time, 7 million, statistics show that 7 million of that number is online, doing something, looking for something. Now, 7 million over 3 years ago before COVID-19. You can imagine what that number is today. But 7 million at the time was still a lot. What are these people looking for? What kind of services do they need? So we can provide them with these services. After all, we are the best in traffic. Well, guess what? Some of those people online, myself included, are doing online banking. I do that sometimes twice a day. And I know a bunch of you do that. And when we do these things, there are people online, businesses online that monetize on our services. So these guys are going to say, with AI at the back of our hands, we can do that even better. Some of us online, we are on our favorite social media platform, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We're sending texts, pictures to our friends, family members, colleagues, classmates. What are we doing? It's called community. And these guys are going to say, you know what? With AI, we can have a better community, better, bigger, stronger. As you come to join us today, you will find out our community is growing by the second, over 875,000 strong and growing by the second. Some of us online are doing what? E-commerce, drop shipping, email marketing, bulk emailing. Guess what? There are people online that make 6- and 7-figure income just doing email marketing. I know that because I thought about it once upon a time. And these guys are going to say, you know what? We can do that too with AI all the way, even better. Some of us online are doing what we call video conferencing, very popular these days. If you can see me or you can hear me or both, it means you went to some application called Zoom, put in some ID, and there you are. I can assure you, Eric Wan, the owner and founders of Zoom, they are monetizing on our services as we speak. And Zoom is not the only one. We have Skype, we have AnyMeeting, Google Hangouts, Cisco WebEx, Microsoft Teams. We have a plethora of more than 25 of them out there. And all of them making serious money, especially since the advent of the pandemic. But Zoom is the most popular. Why? Because it is the most user-friendly. But not for long, my friends. Those of us who have been here for some time, who've been privy enough to see a sneak peek of OnPassive, our own webinar platform. We call it OConnect. It is clearer, 3D, faster, more secure, end-to-end encrypted, more scalable, and above all, guess what? More affordable. Like my friend Mike Ellis says, at a lower price point. But let's focus on Zoom for today. It is still their day until we get out there. Prior to COVID-19, Zoom was averaging 10 million participants per day. April 1st, 2020, same company took a statistic. That number had risen to over 300 million participants per day. You can imagine what it is today. November 30th, 2020, Forbes magazine reported Zoom to have made more profits than ExxonMobil, the decades-old American oil company. Why is this happening? People are going virtual. Every university, high school, middle school, elementary school, asking students to take classes virtually. I've seen pastors, men of God, women of God, having virtual prayer services. I've seen virtual weddings. Everything is virtual, and it's here to stay, my friends. OnPassive is simply going to help us monetize. Let's talk about another virtual service, virtual private network, VPN. What is that? Just a fancy name. It's a fancy name for a tunnel. Is this a tunnel cuts across a major network, such as the internet, and provides for privacy. Employers use it so their employees can access corporate data without fear of bad guys, without fear of hackers. Ever since the pandemic, more and more companies asking employees to work from home. Microsoft, Facebook, Google, all of them, even the federal government, asking employees to work from home. And that trend is here to stay. Somebody, when they work from home, somebody is monetizing on their services through VPN. And these guys at OnPassive, they're going to say, you know what? With AI at the back of our hands, we're going to have our own VPN. We do. We call it all virtual. Super, super smart, more secure, end-to-end encrypted, more scalable, and above all, guess what? More affordable. I can assure you, my friends, when OnPassive launches, the big players in this space, like Cisco Networks, they are going to know there is a new sheriff in town. Yes, they will know. Let's talk about another service, search engine optimization, SEO. Sounds like a mouthful. What is that? We know of search engines, Yahoo, Bing, Safari, if you're an Apple enthusiast, Google, it's a household name. We all should know about Google. And you can go there so many times a day to search for something free of charge. They don't charge you, right? You can go to Facebook. We use Facebook all the time, free of charge. So all these big technology companies, seems like everything is free, yet they are making billions upon billions of dollars. So how do they make that money? That's a billion-dollar question, my friends. Most of us don't know, and frankly, most of us don't even care. One of the biggest ways that Google makes money is through search engine optimization, and I'm going to explain to you how it works, only because OnPassive is going to use SEO for us so we can make money as well. Say you go to google.com to search for something. It can be anything. It can be a phone, a watch, it doesn't matter. But let's say it is a camera, only because I have a camera that I market through Google. You go to Google, search for camera, a bunch of them pops up, right? A bunch of them are going to pop up. If you click on the camera that comes from my store, well, guess what? You just costed me money. You don't even have to buy it. They call it pay-per-click. So what does Google say? If you're a business person or an individual and you market an item through us, and a customer comes searching for that item, we're going to optimize our search, hence search engine optimization. We're going to bring it to the top, eyeballs. Once they see it, our job is done. You pay us. So a small business person like me, very, very small, almost insignificant, I am paying Google every month, averagely $400 a month. I'm also paying Microsoft. Why am I paying Microsoft? Bill Gates bought over a company called Bing, revamped it. It's a search engine. I pay them. People like us pay them. I pay GoDaddy. Why am I paying GoDaddy? Domain name service, DNS. Every company online has to have a domain name. So when you hear xxx.com, .net, .info, all of that domain name. And there are billions of them out there. And there are companies that monetize on those. These guys at OnPassive, They are going to have our own, we have our own DNS. We are going to monetize on it as well. Search engine optimization. They're going to say we have AI. By the time we have our own search engine EO out there, by the time you type the first letter character, it already knows where you are headed. My friends, the big players in this space, they are going to know there is a new kid on the block. I can assure you that. These are product services, digital products, digital services that I'm explaining to you guys. What am I doing? Sharing with you these services that we use every day, that OnPassive is putting together, that we can relate to. But there are more. We have virtual education services. We have virtual human resources. We have virtual accounting, all kinds of services. So what is OnPassive doing? OnPassive said this is simple. If you think about it, you're a business, a digital business. You think about it, we have it for you in one spot, under one umbrella. In IT, we call it single sign-on. And today, the big word you need to take home with you, these are integrated. No company on earth has ever succeeded in doing this. OnPassive, we are 99.9% there, my friends. Now, I told you guys earlier, with OnPassive, you don't have to recruit to make money. With OnPassive, you don't have to come out of pocket every month to pay an ownership. And with OnPassive, we have the best legitimate, viable digital services in this day and age that I can see or anybody can see. My friends, this is value. And if you see this in any company out there, trust me, you got my word. You contact me and I will be your first customer. Now, with all this value in the same place, what is it going to take for you to become a founder? I told you what it took me 2.5 years ago. Mr. Redfern is going to tell you what it takes today. Mr. Redfern has been with this company from day one. He knows about it just as much as anybody in this company is good at it. He knows how to bring it out to the people. Mr. Red, take it over.
Thanks very much, Charles and Marty. Susie Lanray, and welcome Mike Ellis as well. What a fantastic presentation as always, Charles. I love the way you present it. It really does give all these people here a really good history of what OnPassive is trying to do for absolutely every founder out there. So we've heard Charles talk about OnPassive. You like what you hear. So how are we going to get involved? I know people there listening want to get involved. So how do you do it? The way you do it is very, very simple. You get back in contact with the person who has invited you here today and you say, hey, do you know something? I loved what he said. I'm really, really interested. What do I have to do now? That person will give you a registration link. Okay, you put in your first, your last name and an email address. Once you send that off, a payment page will open. Now, remember, Charles said all the way back when he joined 2.5 years ago, it was $97 US. Well, the good news for you guys out there right now is it's still only $97 to get involved. So you have various means of payment. If you pay by Visa, MasterCard, direct debit or credit card, it will cost you with the charges from the bank 102 euros. There is various forms of cryptocurrency and other forms of payment depending on the country you are in. Once you've sent that payment off and it is cleared, you then log back in again and up pops that thing that Charles said, the NDA, Non-Disclosure Agreement. This is here for all sorts of reasons. One of them is to protect the company. And the other reason is, of course, to protect you, the founder and customer within the organization. It's very long, it's 5 pages, and there's lots and lots of technical and legal types of jargon in there. Give it a good read. This is there for all of our security. It shows how committed, how above board OnPassive is. It really is a company that you can be safe and secure in. This NDA goes a long way to share with us exactly what they are trying to do. So read it all the way to the bottom. At the bottom, there is 2 check boxes. click both of those to say that you have read the NDA and also that you are happy with it. And there's also a box that you can digitally sign it if you're on a smart device, or if you're on a laptop or desktop, you can digitally sign it again. Once you've done that, that's it, guys. You are in. You are a founder and partner of OnPassive. Now, Charles mentioned there is 2 out-of-pocket payments you have to make with OnPassive. That first one is $97. And the second time you will go out of pocket is to activate your account. This is the day that we launch to the world. And at the moment, it's around about $250 US. Might be less, might be more, but have in your mind around about $250 US, and you won't be far off the mark. This is to physically activate your account. This is what gets you started. This is us paying the company to market on our behalf, to get those customers, to bring them into our organization, and for you guys to get the commissions. This is what we are paying the customer, the company to do. So that is the only 2 out-of-pocket payments that you have to make, because from there on in, any other payments we make on a monthly basis will come out of your residual profits from commissions that the company will get from you. How cool is that? So you do not have to do anything, just have in the back of your mind, $350 all in, that's me done. And guess what? I am making a residual income for the rest of my life. Now, before I finish, let's just think about a couple of things. Now, Charles mentioned some very big companies that are out there in the internet space right now. One of them is Amazon. It is a multi-billion-dollar company to the tune of something like making $1 billion a week or something absolutely crazy stupid. Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world because of this massive company, but he's also one of the tightest, most arrogant people you'll ever meet. You all saw on TV him flying up into the air, having this tit for tat with all the other billionaire mates. I'm going to get there first. He came down to earth and he said, "Thank you very much to all my staff and all my customers for giving me the money to allow me to do this." He does not like giving his money away. That's why he is the richest man on the world. But did you know this? That since it has been launched around about 20 years or so, Amazon has produced 40,000 millionaires in that time. And he doesn't even want to give that money away. Just imagine where you will be within OnPassive. As a founder and partner of OnPassive, we have a CEO who has a heart for humanity. He wants us to be successful. I would not be surprised in the future that every single founder who is there now, and we are only less than 1% of our projected customer base, by the way, will be a millionaire in years to come. Don't quote me on it, but I would not be surprised. And the last thing I want to leave you with is this. Any decision that you make today will have an impact on your life in 2 years' time. Okay, this is going to impact you financially, it's going to impact your family financial and your circle of friends and people around you. Just imagine where you're going to be in 2 years' time, what you can do with that financial and time freedom, and how much you can help people around you. So just ponder on that. Get with us. Please join us. And it is only a $97 decision. Get back to that person who's invited you here today. And we sincerely hope that you join us on this amazing journey. Back over to you, Susie.
Wow. That's all I can say. Thank you, Marty, Charles, and Red. I don't know about you. I'm on board. I've been on board, and I have, if you may have FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. So this is an unbelievable blessing, as we say. And as Red mentioned about our CEO, he is not motivated by becoming wealthy, the wealthiest person in the world. He is more motivated in giving back an opportunity to us. So we highly suggest you jump on board and then go move forward and bless the people that you care about in your life. and share it. I'm going to go through how we're going to do the questions and answers today. And then if Mike Ellis would like to add a few words today, that would be great. Mike's on the panel. So I'm going to lower all hands. Okay. The Q&A today is for our guests who have been invited. What you can do is raise your hand. I can see it on my end. I will promote you to what we call a panelist. It's going to ask you if that's okay. Your screen's going to change a little. You can come on and you can ask a question of our panel. I'm also going to enable the chat right now. So if you're a little shy and you don't want to come on the panel, by all means, you can type your question in the chat and we will do our best to find it and get back to you. And also Marty has posted in the chat that if you want a copy of today's presentation, you can email him at onpassivenation@gmail.com. Don't put your email address in the chat. It's better if you were to email Marty at onpassivenation@gmail.com. And there was a lot to digest today, but you'll get a copy of this. And we also encourage you to go to onpassive.com and you can see the products. There's information there with frequently asked questions. So you can really see how revolutionary this company is. So I'm going to start bringing people in. So Mike, if you would like to add a few words.
Yeah, just real quick, Susie, I'll say a couple of things while you're bringing people in. For the individuals that are coming in and becoming founders today, you're in a really, really unique position. Most of the panel here, we've been in almost since the inception of OnPassive, and we've been through the evolution of OnPassive, the development of OnPassive, and it's been a really, really good ride, but it's been 2.5 years. You coming in today, OnPassive, it's done. The products are done. We are in the process of the global launch of OnPassive today. And understand, it is a process. It doesn't happen in one day. And that process, it takes a little while to get through to the global launch, but it will happen this year from everything we're hearing. And what that does for individuals that are coming in today, you don't have to wait the 2.5 years we waited for before you start getting paid and getting paid a residual income. So it's a really dynamic time now for those individuals coming in and becoming founding members of OnPassive. And as you come in and lock yourself into OnPassive, you are locking yourself into a residual income. That will happen to everybody that becomes a founding member today or by the time we go into the global launch of OnPassive. So really exciting time right now. Everybody on the panel did a great job today. And everything they said, guys, it's spot on. This is the real deal. It's happening right now. Come on in, pay the $97, lock your position in OnPassive, and then get ready because you're going to go on a really, really good ride. Susie, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Always good to hear from you. Yes, you guys keep it simple. This is an opportunity to be with a revolutionary company that is going to rock the internet very soon. What I did over 1.5 years ago is I only saw 4 bullet points about it and I got excited, jumped on board, and then shared it with the people I care about, my family and friends, and they all jumped on board. And the beauty of it is you don't have to be engaged if you don't want to. You don't have to sell. You don't have to, do anything. We do encourage you, though, to share it with the people you care about because this is an unbelievable opportunity. But the beauty in what Ash Mufareh has created is a business that is simple, fully automated, and anyone can participate no matter what your level of experience is online or offline. Okay, I've added a few people. They have not come on. So we do have a couple questions, panel. One of them is, what products does OnPassive sell? Now, I know we kind of went through that. If someone would maybe do a quick recap of the digital products that OnPassive has, or you can watch the video again. Mike, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, I can start that off, Susie. All you have to do is look behind Susie, okay? Those are the products of OnPassive. They're right behind her. And you can go to onpassive.com and you can review all the digital products of OnPassive. They are extraordinary. They are large niches. Most of these are in billion-dollar niches. That's why when you think about OnPassive and the volume that's going to be coming in, the customers that are going to be coming in, and some of them landing underneath you, that's where our residual income comes from. And again, OnPassive is going to do everything. They're going to get the customers. They're going to get the eyes in front of the products. They're going to bring the customer in. They're going to make the sale. Once the customer lands underneath you, they're going to manage those customers 100% passive. But if you want more about the products, go to onpassive.com. They're all there. They have videos. They have explanations, everything you'd want to know about the products, and they're always adding to that. So pretty easy to do. Just start with looking behind Susie. And from there, go wherever you want to go.
Okay, Mike, thanks so much. Yeah, that's what I love about it, is OnPassive is going to do the work for us. They're going to bring people in. They're going to manage and help the customers, troubleshoot, do everything for us, which I think is absolutely great. Okay, we have a question from Reverend Seth. Do we have Skrill payment method for Ghana? I'm not sure if that's I've never heard of that payment type, SKRILL. Would someone like to respond to that? Skrill payment?
The simple
From
answer
Ghana?
is we don't have it.
Okay, thank you.
You can pay using cryptocurrency. Okay, you can pay using credit debit card, global Visa card, global MasterCard. Okay, and that's it from Ghana.
Okay, great. Thank you, Charles. Peace has another question. What is our return on investment and how often do we get it? Is it monthly, yearly, etc.? So who would like to respond to that loaded question? Red, go ahead.
Yeah, not surprisingly, it is a question that comes up almost every time we do any type of presentation by any of us leaders. For a start, we are not an investment. We are a weekly. We are a monthly subscription-based business. Don't forget, at the moment, we are looking for founders and partners to participate in this opportunity. When we launch to the world, we are going to be a customer-based business. Okay, selling these digital products and services behind Susie, just over there. Okay, so there is no, we give us £1,000 and we're going to give you £2,000 back or anything like that. This is a business that has legitimate, viable products that are in high demand right now on the internet. They are all digital. So you are partnering OnPassive as a founder and getting a slice of that cake. You will get commissions from customers that will buy the products and services that drop into your customer organization. That is how we make our residual income, by customers buying the products. I hope that's gone some way to answer your question.
Yes, thank you, Red, because we can parlay that into Reverend Seth's question. What products, and since we're not obliged to bring in people, how does OnPassive make money? Well, just like Red said, customers are going to come in, they will come under you and you will earn a piece of the pie, but also part of coming in for what the payment of those products, OnPassive will take a portion of it so that they can run operationally. They can pay their engineers, they can pay their, all the staff, the buildings, the research and development. So 100% comes in, a big portion comes back to us, and the company keeps a portion of it as customers come in, unless someone wants to add a little bit more.
Yeah, Susie,
I was going to talk about the previous question about Skrill, because somebody posted something in the chat. Yeah, that it is a prepaid card. Okay, so if it is a prepaid card, just make sure it has a Visa or MasterCard logo, right? Because the way prepaid cards work, they work just like debit cards. In other words, you put in your money and you can use that amount of money. The only caveat here, especially internationally, it has to have a Visa or MasterCard logo because there are a bunch of different ones out there, okay?
Okay, and keep in mind, it's $97. And when you do use a Visa or MasterCard, there's a $5 administrative activation fee with the Visa and MasterCard or whatever, or American Express. So if you are loading up that card, make sure it has $102 US in it so that it can be processed. Red, did you want to say
Yeah.
something else?
I was going to expand on how the company makes its money. Mike Ellis always reminds us of this, and it is a very important point. Remember, I was talking about Jeff Bezos being the richest person in the world and all the rest of it. And that is because he keeps most of it. He only gives in the region of 10 to 15% of that away to any partners, shareholders, etc. Ash Mufareh has already told us he is only going to take out of the company the money that he needs to keep the company running, to pay his staff, to pay for all the external bills, plus some for future developments. We believe that in excess of 50% of the company's earnings will come to us, to the founders. It might even be all the way up to 65% will come back to the founders. This is a massive deal, guys. It really is. No other company has been so generous in giving back to the foundership ever online. And you have the chance to partner us and be a founder for that $97.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. Go
let
ahead.
me add a couple.
Mike.
Let me add a couple of things just very quickly, Susie, to give them an idea of the volume that's going to be coming in. Red earlier said that the founding members would be 1% of our marketplace, and he was right. But it's 1% of our marketplace the first year. We plan on bringing in 100 million customers. That's 1%. Our market base is about 5 billion people, so it's massive. But you can imagine what 100 million people coming into OnPassive, buying the products and landing under you will do for your bottom line, that residual income you're looking to build. It's a big deal. And like Red said, if you look at Ash Mufareh sharing the profits, and you just think about 56% of that, and I think it's going to be more, it'll blow your mind. It is so much money. It's hard to think in those terms. So you're in a good place at a good time. Go ahead, Susie.
Okay, thanks, Mike. I'm going to answer one quick question, and then we have another question in the chat. Someone asked what happens if a founder dies before launch or whatever. Okay, this is a business that you're signing up for, and it's highly recommended to everyone that you treat this as if it were an asset if you're going to will it to someone. So you need to make sure that all of your login credentials, your email, your password, whatnot, is available to those that you care about should something happen either prior to the global launch or after the launch, so you can protect yourself. Okay, we have a question here from Chazelle. I see from OnPassive.com, there are 20 products listed. Am I understanding what you are saying is, for example, if I have a product or service that fits into one of those product categories, then I would use it to build my business?
Okay, so
Yeah.
to answer that question, you don't need to build your business. OnPassive will build the business for you, right? So what OnPassive is saying is that you look at these products that we have. There are people out there, companies, individuals that need these products every day, and they pay for them every day, every month. We OnPassive, we're going to supply those products and services, and we're going to build all our founders' businesses, putting these products on their website, marketing these products, getting customers for these products, and paying us on it. So you don't have to do anything. You can fold your arms and you just get paid, okay?
Okay, thank you, Charles. Peace is asking, where is OnPassive headquartered and located? Would someone like to respond to that? Go ahead, Red.
Okay, we have two locations at the moment. There is a few more in the pipeline, but for just now, and you can actually go on to Google Earth, you can zoom in on them as well. One is in Orlando, Florida, and the other one is in a place called Hyderabad in India. So if you go into Google Earth, you put in OnPassive Hyderabad, India, it will come up on there and you can zoom straight in and have a look at it. It's also on a documentation as well. So if you think this way around, our CEO and a few staff as well are in the main office in Orlando, Florida. But all our technicians, developers, support staff, and absolutely everybody that we need to have an online presence, to the tune at the moment of between 600 and 700 staff, they are all in a place called Hyderabad in India.
Okay, thank you, Red. Yes, and if you go to onpassive.com, you can go look at the bottom. The addresses are there. There's information about the CEO. You'll find a wealth of knowledge there. It looks
Yeah.
like that's, oh, go ahead, Mike.
If you look behind Charles and you look behind Marty, that is the office that we're in. It's 6 stories. That's where everybody's at. It's where all the technicians are. And it's brick and mortar. You can touch it, you can feel it, you can see it, everything you need to do. Go ahead, Susie.
Okay, thanks, Mike. I think that's all we have for questions right now. So I'm going to wrap things up, and then Charles, if you'd like to close out today's webinar. So thank you everyone for joining. If you want a copy of today's presentation, you can email Marty at onpassivenation@gmail.com, and he will send you a copy of this. We highly recommend you get back to the person who invited you. They will provide you with their registration link so you can jump on board as a founder. Once you are a founder, you will have access to our back office. And on every Monday, we have a session with all the founders around the globe, 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's a private webinar where you can come on and ask your questions and talk about anything that's on your mind about OnPassive. The other thing to remember is if once you jump on board, you can invite the people you care about that you want to bless it forward to one of these presentations. We're here every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And what's great about that is you can just share this with people. They can come watch. You can share the link of today's presentation should you get it from Marty. So we are here to help all of you and on your journey. And we're here to support you. And we just know if you caught a glimpse of what's happening today with this revolutionary business called OnPassive, you're going to want to jump on board and start enjoying the ride like we are. So with that said, Charles, if you'd like to wrap things up.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, all the leaders, Marty, Mike Ellis, Redfern, Larry, all of you guys. And thanks to all the founders who come here to show support to their guests, our loved ones, because this is really for you, our guests. We are all on a mission to help as many people as possible. And for those of you who decide to become founders today, we do have a meeting every Monday where we meet founders only. It's like a round table. We're going to sit and talk. First of all, we show you how to access your back office. Okay, and the little basic things. I saw somebody just put a question. I have a problem with my password. Yeah, bring it over there on Monday. Okay, that's why we have those things. Okay, so those founders who join us today or before Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern, feel free to join us. This link is going to be at the back office, or you can get it from whoever invited you if you don't know how to get your back office. And we'll see you on Monday for good chat. Usually we'll stay there as long as need be, okay? So other than that, have a blessed weekend, everyone. And we'll see you again on Monday.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.